Look, if you are a Shopify brand owner and you're not fantasizing at the thought of Black Friday coming up and making an insane amount of cash, then I'm going to take a little guess. You've probably not known what sale to do in the past. You've probably spent your summer last year drinking Aperol Spritz and smoking darts in Spain. And you probably thought that Black Friday was optional. Well, look, there's simply no other event that can change the trajectory of your entire business forever. And the reason for that is, this is an opportunity to get a lot of customers for low cost. And why I say low cost is because this is when everybody's searching and everybody's ready to buy. People buy at Black Friday, and the people that don't shop all year shop at Black Friday. So when you're advertising in this period, you're going to get people that are way more likely and way more susceptible to buy. Now, the second thing is, you're going to have a big boost on your cash flow. The reason why you need this is because when you start scaling up your ads in Q4, it's good to get the money together to reinvest back into your busiest period and have a lot more cash in the following year, because everybody knows Q1, Q2 is going to be your quietest time. So you want to build this cash back up. And you can also liquidate some of your stock that perhaps isn't selling through a sales event. And the third thing is, this is where you harvest customer data. Now, this is probably the most important thing that you can possibly do for your brand. Customer data is when customers either shop on your site or sign up to your email list. The reason why you need that email is because email is your most profitable channel, as you probably know. So when you get this data together, you can market to that customer the following year, the following month, at Christmas time, and you can do it for next to no cost. Because there's so many customers that are active online and looking to buy products, if you have the right offers in place around this time of year specifically, you can get a lot of customer data in a very short period of time. And this customer data is going to be used throughout the rest of this year and the following year. And also, you can resell to these same customers. Okay, you can resell to these guys. Even the people who don't purchase on Black Friday, you can resell to them in 2 months' time, 1 month's time, whatever the case is. And look, there's a reason why brands like Represent put so much focus on Black Friday and Calendar Monday. Like, you've probably seen a Represent sale. They go absolutely hard at these sales events. And look, when you even look at this Klaviyo post, this is from 2020, and they did $1.2 million in revenue on Black Friday alone. And 35% of their Black Friday revenue came from email directly. And the reason why I bring this brand up is because Represent has grown year on year, and Represent have actually passed £100 million in revenue. Now, Represent know the power of these sale events, and they actually blow their entire business up using these sale events because of a few things that I'm about to share. You see, the more customer data that they collect, and this is confirmation from sales, people signing up to the email list, and people being brought in at sales periods, this means that they can sell to these customers again at Christmas time. They can sell to them at zero cost through a rewards program or emails. And then they can buy that customer data for a very low cost. Because if you are selling and advertising at a certain time when everybody's looking for advertisement and to buy products, then more people are going to click on your advertisements when they see them. That means that your advertising is going to be much cheaper. So if you're advertising with the big budgets in a cheaper period, you're going to get a lot more data for a much lower cost compared to the rest of the year. And then this is where you use this data at the low cost stage, and then you sell to these guys in the following year. Now, if you do this properly, this ensures that your business is growing year on year, because you're going into the new year with all the cash, all the data, and you're able to really build out this ecosystem of customers to actually grow your business properly. So look, in this video today, I'm going to give you my 3-step preparation framework to squeeze every single last drop out of the most profitable time of year for any e-commerce brands. And look, this is the same framework that I've actively used myself for my own e-com brand in the past, and this is what we're using with clients this current day to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars this Q4 and start 2026 with a bang. So look, one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a brand owner is not starting your Q4 prep early. Like, guys, some people seem to forget that this is e-commerce. We signed up for this game. Now, e-commerce means by the end of the summer, you're preparing for Q4. People think this is a different industry. We're not day traders, guys, yeah? We're not doing SMMA, we're doing e-commerce. E-commerce in October for e-com brand owners, you're not allowed to be in Spain. I'm sorry to tell you that. You should be working on a laptop in the dark on your own. It's important to understand why customers spend more on average on Black Friday. Now, it's for these 4 reasons. The first thing is the perceived scarcity and urgency. You know, you think of that picture when everyone's rushing into shops and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's human nature to perceive scarcity and want to go towards it, because in a customer's mind, they're thinking, well, if other people are going towards it, it must be a good deal, and that's the justification. Now, when you mix that up with the urgency that they need to hurry up and make a decision or they're going to miss out, that is a very strong social influence. We're going to touch on that a bit later. The next thing is tradition and social influence. Everybody knows Christmas is coming up. Everyone's in this holiday spirit. They're spending money. You know, you can go and talk to the conspiracy theorists and just really think that, well, Christmas has just been a holiday used by the big global companies and it's been commoditized in order to condition consumers to spend more money every single year rather than enjoy the actual Christian holiday. That's a topic for a different day. But there is a social influence. People know when Black Friday is coming up, and people actually wait until Black Friday to start making sales. This is why you need to be selling in this period, guys. The next thing is gift prepping. Look, Christmas, whether you like it or not, in the West is the most important time of year. So people like to buy gifts for Christmas at this time. And look, people like to feel like they're saving money. People like to feel like they're getting a deal. People like to feel like they're prepared and they're getting ahead of the time. So when this Christmas period is coming up, they want to feel like they're saving money. And to be honest, you can save money at Black Friday quite a lot. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, when you're selling in these conditions, this is the difference between selling hot dogs to starving people at lunchtime without any competition and selling hot dogs to slightly hungry people that also has burgers for sale next door. Right? Well, look, you're going to have a big difference in sales in these periods. Black Friday, everybody wants to purchase and everybody's looking for deals. And if you can make your offer right and you can have your products correctly, you can actually stand out in a crowded market because people just do not do this preparation. The ones that take advantage of this transformational period, these are the ones that get prepared and they get prepared ahead of time. And look, so whilst most founders are out here wearing linen shirts and posting Instagram reels with little baby playing, the real entrepreneurs like you and me, we are getting ahead. So look, let's get straight into this. I don't want to waste any of your time with this. The first thing that you want to do is actually build out a Black Friday, Cyber Monday marketing campaign. Now, guys, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with this. This doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be complete. You can change your offer at the last minute, but maybe you don't even know what you're going to do yet. But what you want to do is just sit down with your team and ask these questions. Or even if you're running this business on your own, just ask yourself these questions and just give it an hour or 2 hours to come up with a bit of a brainstorm and a bit of an idea. When you do this ahead of time and you don't have the urgency to come up with a plan, this is where you're going to get your best ideas. So it's questions like this that you want to be answering. What did we do last year? So think about if you did have a marketing campaign last year. There's going to be some people watching this thinking, I had no idea what to do last year. Well, that's why you need to really get a plan together. But think, what did you do last year? The reason why you want to be asking yourself this is because you want to be looking at what went wrong. Where can we make improvements? How can we add on to this? What went well? How can we replicate that? You want to be asking yourself, what did our competitors do last year? Ideally, the market leaders. Not necessarily in your set industry, but what I like to do is I like to hop from industry to industry. So maybe take a look at a different industry, maybe one that you bought from. Did you buy anything Black Friday? Go on your order confirmations, go to November last year and see what you bought at that time. And then try to think, why did I buy that? And that might be something that you can replicate onto your own marketing campaign. The next thing you want to have is, how can we improve what they did? How can we copy them? Look, people don't like to talk about this. Listen, if you're in ecom, copy the fuck out of everybody. Okay, this is what everybody does. But you need to borrow like an expert, not directly copy. Now, what I'm saying is, don't go to someone who's slightly bigger than you or the best clothing brand in the space when you're in the same niche and just copy word for word and the designs and what they're doing. Copy it like an expert, take inspiration. Maybe you're in a supermarket and you see how the offers are displayed, and that's what you copy and put onto your website, put your own design on it. Commerce and e-commerce is the same everywhere. Look for what works in different industries. Steal a little bit from Amazon, steal a bit from a clothing brand, steal a bit from a pet brand. Steal little bits from everywhere, put it together and make your own version. Because when you're looking at bigger brands, this is where you can get the advantage of they're testing with a lot of data, they're testing with a lot of marketing campaign, they're testing with bigger teams. Steal what they're doing, right? They've tested it against data, so if you've seen what they're doing, do it yourself. The next thing is, start thinking about what is your actual content plan. And by content plan, I mean, what's the social media post that you're gonna do if you're on there, which you should be. What are the emails that you're gonna send out? How many emails are you gonna send out? What sort of offers shall we do? How are we gonna let people know about our sales? What's the banner gonna be on our website? Are we adding an announcement bar at the top? Are we locking the website? What's the pop-up form gonna be? What is your content plan? What are you gonna put out there to ensure that customers know about your brand, other than just the marketing alone? Now, also ask yourself, how can we stand out? Really try and think outside the box. Just spend some time on this, there's no rush with this. And also think, what do our customers really want? Maybe you even do a questionnaire for your VIP customers, but just sit down, ask yourself these sort of questions, write them down, have a brainstorm with your team and start coming up with an idea. Once you sit down and put the time into this, and I really do suggest that you do this, this is where you're gonna start getting the juices flowing. You're gonna start thinking of some ideas, and that's exactly what you want. Now, after going through this exercise, you should have a general outline of what you're planning to do. Now, the second key is to build depth by adding actionable steps to your marketing plan. So you should have an idea of the offer, sale, products. So now is the time to start planning your marketing. This is where you really gain your advantage from planning early. So look, you can make, let's say 10 emails, for example. Well, you can change them at a later date, but when you have the majority of the work done, it means that you're just tweaking what's already made. You're not starting from from scratch at a later date. So this is where you really build that advantage. So when you start planning your marketing, now we want actionable steps. You want to be thinking, what is the actual things that I'm creating? So what you want to start by doing is warming up your email list. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because we're aiming to build trust before Black Friday. Because look, out of all the brands we audit, like we do email marketing for Ecom brands, by the way, link in bio if you need that. You need to start warming up your email list. Do not be this brand that starts popping up in October saying, oh, we've got these sales coming, they don't hear from you all year, because they're going to be like, who the f is this guy? That's what they're going to think, right? You're fighting for space in their inbox. And if you're not a brand that is at top of mind, then you're going to be forgotten about and no one's going to open your emails. You want to condition customers to be opening your emails consistently. Now, one of the main pushbacks that I get on that is, well, I don't want to send too many emails because then people unsubscribe. Well, look, if they don't want your emails, you shouldn't be sending them emails anyway. Get them off the list. They're not customers. And if you're segmenting properly, your customers shouldn't be getting a crazy amount of emails. 3 or 4 emails a week is absolutely fine. So you want to improve your deliverability by doing this as well. If you have got better sender reputation, you're going to be getting your emails out to more people. You can't try and improve your sender reputation and your deliverability in a week or 2 weeks. This is done slowly over time. So you want to be aiming to improve your deliverability from now up until Black Friday. So when you start sending those sales emails, customers have seen your message, they're expecting emails from you, they are looking at it positively if your emails are actually good, and then by the time it comes to the sale in the busy period, they're going to be ready to buy and the emails are actually going to be landing in their inbox. Big mistake right here. If you're looking at your open rates and they're saying 30%, 35%, you've got an issue. You've got a deliverability issue. Check your deliverability and fix your deliverability. This is going to warm your audience and people are going to expect the emails. This is very important. And look, if you are risking last minute blasts, then you're just not going to get the sales. You are not going to get the sales. So do not risk your most important period, which is Black Friday, just because you've not been bothered to be sending the emails. So there's 3 things that you want to do here. First, audit and segment your list. Label subscribers by their sort of engagement. So highly engaged would be people who've opened an email in the past 30 days or 90 days. Medium would be 120 to 180. And low engagement would be people who have not opened an email for 365 days. You want to sort of hit these people with different offers. And if there is any users that are inactive, then don't mess around with these. Get them back in or get them off the list. Offer your maxed offer. Offer them a certain amount off more than what you usually would do. Because the way I look at this is personally, if you have a profitable customer acquisition cost of $50, for example, well, you might as well offer a customer on your email list who's gone unengaged $50 off an order in order to get them back into your ecosystem, because you're going to spend that on Facebook ads anyway. But the benefit of doing it through email is that you have not spent the money until they've redeemed it. And this is also going to tie into improving your sender reputation. If you are segmenting properly and you're sending to the right people with the right messaging, you're going to be having a higher engagement rate, a higher open rate, people who are clicking on your emails. That is where your deliverability is going to increase. So you want to focus on segmenting properly and then sending frequent emails to this list. So don't just send random emails and random blasts, but you want to send value-driven emails on a weekly basis. Like, guys, how many times I've looked at someone's email inbox and they're sending 1 email every 2 weeks. It's not enough. I'm talking 2 to 3 weeks. The emails a week minimum. Because every time you send a campaign email, you're getting people to go onto your website and then they're making actions and then they're going down certain flows. Well, those flows are going to be sending 5, 6, 7 emails to that same person. That's 7 more chances you've got of making a sale. And if all your flows are set up properly, that's where you're going to be really picking up a lot of that traffic. So you want to be sort of sending out your campaigns because you're going to be converting a lot more through your flows as well as the campaigns that you sent out doing that. Now, don't just send emails, oh guys, buy this, buy this, buy this. No. Build a relationship. This is the time. Take it slow. You'll be surprised how much non-sale emails sell. I've got a client recently and he's actually selling more through the non-sale emails than he's the sale emails, just giving updates to the brand and getting these customers engaged. The more that you can do this in this stage, the better it's going to be. And if you do this on a consistent basis, you're conditioning the customers to open the emails. By the time Black Friday comes around, they're like, right, we're ready for these emails. We know these guys are doing a sale. They've been talking about it. We've been hearing from them. I like the emails that they're sending, if you're sending good ones. And then they're ready and susceptible to buy. Now, the third thing is you want to introduce some Black Friday teasers. So this is going to change from business to business, depending on what your offer is, depending on what sale event that you're doing, depending what you're doing. But add a little bit of teaser in there saying Black Friday coming up, announce products, announce when the date's going to be, announce what you're going to do with the website. If you're going to lock your site, tell them about it, tell them the rules, tell them when the Black Friday sale starts and ends, tell them when it goes live, add a timer to your website, start teasing it, tell them if you're dropping new products for Black Friday. Whatever the things that you've come up with, start creatively teasing these. I wouldn't necessarily say you need to start teasing these yet. if you're watching this in August, September type of thing, but by October, you want to be teasing this. Tease it about a month before your actual sale date. The third thing is you want to build a VIP early access list, and this is where you want to pre-sale before the crowd. The benefits of this is you can generate a lot of sales before public Black Friday chaos, because once Black Friday starts, everybody's doing Black Friday, so why not start a little bit earlier? This is going to create exclusivity along your best customers. And look, 20 VIPs can actually have more spending power than 100 regular customers. So the key is to make them feel like actual VIPs. So give them early access, give them special offers, keep in touch with them on a more one-to-one and personal level, text-based emails, emails from founders, try and talk to them a little bit more. Because your VIPs in early access are tailored towards separate audiences though. This is what some people don't seem to realize. You see, your VIPs are people who've shopped multiple times in the past, and the early access is rewarded to those who signed up to your email list. So ideally, this is your main offer. Early access being for people that have not signed up yet, so cold audiences and cold customers. Now, here is how you actually treat these two groups differently. So the VIP, these are your hottest groups because these guys have shopped the most out of anybody. Use this. These guys have shopped with your brand multiple times. There's a reason why they keep coming back. These guys have the most spending power. Treat them like a VIP, guys. Talk to them. Make exclusive email campaigns and flows that go out just to these people alone. And offer them private discounts and speak to them in a different way, a more one-to-one way. And this has to be done on email because what you don't want to do is reveal this to everybody. The benefit of using email marketing is you can create a little segment of VIP customers. You can give exclusive details and emails and discount codes to these people and nobody else finds out. But if you show this to people that are brand new customers, what they're going to say is, well, I want the VIP deal. And they don't really understand why they're not getting it. So you can use strategic emails going to a small amount of people, your VIPs who shop again and again and again, to just get a good offer going, giving them the best offer, let them shop again, give them the same early access as everyone else, but just give them a little bit of an extra discount. And just make sure the discount works in your favor, or maybe even give a free gift, but be creative. And look, if you're a small business right now and you've only got 100 VIPs, let's say people have shopped 3 times, well, guys, if you're selling something for $100 and you've got 100 people on there, and they all buy something, well, look, that's $10,000, isn't it? So it's worth doing, even at a very, very small scale. And this is one of the biggest things that I see people miss. They treat these two groups the same, and that's where they fail. The next thing is early access. So this is where you want to make new customers feel like VIPs, and you really want to offer them early access to the sale by signing up their email list. That's going to be your main offer. Now they can gain this by signing up to the mailing list, and this is where the real data collection at mass is happening. This is a great opportunity to gain lots and lots of customer data to resell to these guys through your most profitable channel, which you know is email. And sell to them for years to come, bear in mind. Because what a lot of people don't realize is Black Friday is not about this big sales weekend to just make some money. Black Friday is about getting this customer data and using those email addresses to sell to those customers at Christmas, sell to those customers in February, sell to those customers in August next year. This is where you're selling to a whole fresh group of people through a profitable channel all the way into next year. Right? I'll just say that again. All the way into next year. So if you're not taking this big period where there's a frenzy and it's busy, seriously, you're not missing out on the sales on Black Friday, but you're missing out on a mass amount of customer data that you are meant to be using for next year. This is the importance. So the more serious that you take Black Friday, the more data you're gonna have for next year, and the more sales that you can make through email. And that's the importance of the Black Friday. I hope that's really hit home for you saying it like that, but this is it. Fourth thing that you want to do is make changes to your flows. Now, just to give a bit of a warning, this is only to be done near the date. Do not start doing this now. You can build them out now, but just make a replication of your flows at the minute. You don't want to be changing all your flows completely right now, just to make things just to make that clear. So there is a book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Now this book explains how reciprocity, commitment and consistency, social proof, authority, liking and scarcity are used to influence people into making decisions. If you look for these laws, you will see them throughout the entire of e-commerce, and you're probably using a lot of these that yourself to make people make decisions. Now, considering Black Friday is coming up, this is where you want to be using these laws as much as possible. So look, just to give you a little idea, your reciprocity on your website would be something like, I'm giving you early access to the Black Friday sale. You're giving them something, and then because you've given them something, maybe even a discount, they feel inclined to make a purchase to give something back. Your commitment and consistency is consistently sending out emails and you commit to the customer. Social proof, you're going to be sending testimonials, showing people enjoying your products. Authority, you know, you can see how these things put together, and scarcity is going to be a very big one for Black Friday. This is why people go through Black Friday like they do. Now, when you look at this photo, everybody's going to tell you this is what Black Friday is like. Now, are people acting like this throughout the year at any other time? She probably does, right? She's just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. You know, you look at her, you look at her and you just think, she's probably like that all year. But in general, people are not doing this frenzy shopping. Now, whilst people's emotions are running high and they're actually feeling a few of these at the same time, this is when people are ready to make decisions, emotional decisions. And you can influence the emotional decisions by implementing sale periods cleverly. So what you want to do is try and aim to create the digital version of this. Create the digital version of this, right? That's what we're trying to do here. You've got to think about your flows like the bread and butter. The automations, this is what does the heavy lifting. So when you are going through the sales period, you're going to be supercharging your site with hungry, cheap traffic, and your output of automations will naturally rise with the amount of people taking actions on your site. So if you've got a influx of traffic, if you start advertising more, really putting money on Facebook ads, you're gonna have a lot more people coming to your website. Well, the more people that shop on your website, the more people that are gonna go through your marketing flows, your email flows. If they've had to check out, more of those flows are gonna be going out. Now, if you think about it, when you match this with people going crazy to buy things and feeling in a rush and feel like things are selling out, well, what's gonna happen there? You're going to have people making faster decisions. So what you want to try and do is use that momentum. So shorten the time of your flows. Maybe you've got an hour to 24 hours. Maybe you want to just do 15 minutes and then an hour for your second flow when you're about to check out, for example. Shorten the flows. Be more aggressive with the urgency, more aggressive with the scarcity. Selling fast, almost sold out. Grab it before you can. X person bought this here. Start getting really aggressive. Create this urgency. Create it. Change the copy on the website. Change the banner size. Change the banner font, show that things are selling out, create the urgency, send more flows frequently, because your job is to try and capture as much of this attention as possible and create a frenzy on your own website. And you can do this very cleverly through email. So look guys, this is a blueprint on what you can use step by step. If you need to go through, watch this video again, take notes, come up with your own version. But genuinely guys, if you're struggling with Black Friday, there's always a sale that you can do. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, well, look, I'm not making these videos for fun. I'm a business owner, right? What you should do is go to my YouTube bio, click the link in my bio. It'll take you through to this landing page. There you can book a free strategy call with us and we can have a little chat, see if you can start making money through email, come up with a Black Friday plan together, and hopefully you can make a lot of money. That's what I want to help you do. So look, if that sounds like a plan, go ahead and click the link in my bio. If not, subscribe to the channel and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!